One of the foremost traditional rulers in Nigeria, the paramount ruler of a land regarded as Nigeria's cradle of Western education and the birthplace of Christianity in the country, ruling over a unique people that hold the pride of having produced two of Nigeria's former heads of state and endless list of other leading lights in diverse sectors. You will be meeting my guest after this timeout. This is the Sunday interview, and I am Azizat Olaoluwa. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. From that majestic entrance into his palace, I introduced to you my guest today on the show, the king, a first-class king, of course, in Nigeria. His grandfather and also uncle were also kings during their different times as royal fathers of the land. I'm talking about the Alake of Egbaland, His Royal Majesty, Oba Dr. Michael Aremu Adedotun Gbadebo III. The Okukenu the Fourth, His Royal Majesty. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome to the Sunday interview.
Thank you.
First of all, I think it's in order to wish you happy 75th birthday, but you still look so radiant. What is the secret?
Well, I don't hold anything in my mind. I don't go to bed with a burden on my mind. At the end of each day, I thank God. And I sleep well. And I play golf. I sweat. I trek miles and miles, yes. Thank God.
So how was growing up like for you as a prince?
Well, I grew up in Ake here. My paternal grandmother's house was directly opposite the palace. And so all my young days were spent inside the palace here or at the playground right outside the palace. And like all princes, no matter your age, from the moment you are born, you are called Obalola, which means king tomorrow. And although we didn't take any, take it as meaning anything, because you have to do your own bit, you have to work very hard and become somebody. They don't confer, Obaship on just anybody.
You were an alumnus of Baptist High School, Baptist Boys High School, yes, to put it that way. What memories do you hold so dear?
Well, I hold very dearly the memory of humility in my school. 3/4 of the boys there came to school barefooted. So even if you had your shoes, you wanted to join them and feel the heat of the sun on the coal tar, trekking 1.5 miles to school in the morning and returning to the same in the afternoon. I enjoyed it. We called anybody who was 1 year senior to us, we called them Senior John, Senior James. So you never called anybody who was senior to you by calling his name without putting senior.
Senior. Okay.
Yes, and that was how the school had been. They taught you to know so much about God.
Now, naturally, many would have thought that as a prince, you would hold yourself in a particular way, that you would say that some jobs are too low for you, but yet you went into the Nigerian army to serve Nigeria. Why did you take that decision on one hand, and then you were the principal officer of late General Tunde Idiagbon? Tell us about your experience as well.
Well, in the army, you were taught leadership, projecting the theme, the general desire of everybody, whatever was the goal that you set for yourselves, for the whole group. You must pursue that and subsume your own personal, ambition, your own personal inclination for the goal that has been set for the whole group. That I learned in the army. Others first, self last. And that was it. And you had to be very honest with whatever you did. And I served under people who were models worthy of emulation to me. Served under General Timothy Babatunde Ogudeko. Served under General T.Y. Danjuma. I served under General Tunde Idiagbon and under the present president, General Muhammadu Buhari, the CFR.
Tell me how a normal day looks like for you as the Alake of Egbaland. Well, from the moment you wake up.
Yes, I wake up with the sound of the beagle at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's what happens to all those who live around the palace. They don't need to keep any watch. The bigler sounds his bugle at 6 in the morning and always very, very regular. Got up, said my prayers with my wife of 47 years. Thereafter, get ready, go and take your bath and prepare for the chapel. We have a chapel in the palace. And as Catholics, we started with the rosary at 10 minutes past 7, having woken up at 6. Rosary started 10 minutes past 7. And then Mass started at 7:30. The rosary lasted 20 minutes. Mass started at 7:30. You finish at 8 o'clock. On Mondays, the Anglican Church from the cathedral in Ake, the first church in Nigeria, the priests come in for the devotion, lasting 30 minutes. On Tuesday, it is the African Church. On Wednesday is the Methodist Church. On Thursday is the Christ Apostolic, CAC. Then on Fridays, you have the Anglican Church from Iporake, Christ Church Iporake. So every morning, we started with the Rosary, Mass, and service by one of the Protestant churches.
Wow.
So on first Friday of the month, we had prayers by the Muslim community in the palace. So we belong to all of them.
Okay, earlier you mentioned your wife, so I just wanted to clarify. How many wives do you have?
Well, I am the first Alake to have one wife.
Ah, wow. Was it a personal decision? Because you know what they say about the Obas.
Well,
You were not gifted a wife at any point?
I was not given, even if I was given, I rejected a new wife. I came out of a polygamous home, and that says a lot.
So, do you still practice Christianity, or you're just practicing all religions because you're a paramount ruler?
I use Christianity to project a kind of sermon to all those who look at me. As a Christian, I want them to try and imitate what I do. If I could do this as a Christian, then they should find out themselves what is in that Christianity. So I use myself as a sermon, a living sermon, to those who know me and move near me and study me.
Okay, so let's talk about your children. Where are they? How many are they? What are they doing?
I have 4 boys. First one read medicine in Ibadan University. I went to Imperial College in London and practices medicine in Blackpool now. He's been doing that for a couple of years. The second one went to Gbadebo University for law. Then because of the frequent strikes by Association of Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Universities, which happened 2 times, and it lasted almost a year on the 2 occasions. I sent him to Buckingham University to read law. And the third one also read law at Brighton, Sussex University, Brighton. I went to read oil and gas management in Dundee University. The fourth and last son read economics at the University of Lagos and went to study accountancy in London, and he works at the Central Bank. The other, one works in a bank, in a oil company. The other one is on his own. Okay,
so let's have a peep into your own academic background. You went to Baptist Boys High School, like we said earlier. So which other institutions did you go to?
I went to Ibadan Grammar School, or higher school. I went to University of Ibadan in '65. I participated as a student in all the activities in the university, apart from my classroom work. I was a student politician. I ran for election in my hall of residence, and I was a member of the Pirates Confraternity, which was founded by Professor Wole Soyinka, to remove tribalism and all the evil things in the university, to make people, look at themselves as equals, not because of where you come from. After that, I joined the army. The year I left the university, and that time the Civil War was still on. People said I knew that the Civil War was coming to an end. That was why I joined the army. But everybody was happy that it came to an end.
Okay, so how do you get to relax? Because I know that your work comes with lots of distractions and many activities on a daily basis. How do you relax?
I relax by taking off from the palace at 2:30 or 3, in spite of protestations by many people. In fact, the first time I had to go and play golf, the traditionalists here said, no, it was never heard of that an Alake would go and play at a club. And I said, if I don't play, I would not be as well as they saw me. I must exercise. And so I started playing golf, and it has become part of them. I don't play competitive golf. I play with coaches all the time, and I don't join others in playing, which is to satisfy the, the tradition of Anoba. I don't eat where people see me. In fact, Anoba is not supposed to eat at all. It's supposed to be a spirit, and so on and so forth. You must maintain that sacred, nature that people have associated the Obas with, that they are descendants of the Almighty God.
So tell me about the highest point of your life that you still cherish the most.
Well, the day I entered Ikpebi is the place where you are brought up for 3 months to train, to undergo the lowest of low lives of the people you are supposed to rule over. It is a place where you live like the poorest of the poor. And that lasted 3 months. Because I offered myself, I couldn't complain. I went through it, and they made me a better person. I can now empathize with those who are very poor. I have seen what it is, to sleep in a room of 7 feet by 7 feet.
Wow.
Yes, a cousin of mine, late engineer Gbadebo, came and put an air extractor in that room. That was when it became a bit more comfortable to sleep in. I went through all that. And the last day was the day of coronation. And that was when you moved into the palace.
Okay. Do you watch sports? And if so, which is your favorite kind of sport?
I used to play squash
Oh.
when I was younger. In fact, I have a squash court in the palace. The first thing I did was to build one squash court, standard one. Ah. The palace, yes. But with age, you got tired faster than normal with squash. So, and I went to golf. And I had a golf cart. I promised myself I would not use that golf cart until I was 70, that I would trek. And I kept on trekking. I was 70 and I kept on trekking. Until about a year ago, I started using the golf cart because it allowed me to reach more places, but it reduced the number of mileage that I would have covered, you know. But that has been my sports life.
So what is your favorite food? I
eat eba with ewedu or okra.
Wow.
That was what I was brought up on, and I still love it. And I tell people, when you are in doubt, eat eba. It never worries you.
Really?
It does not worry you at all.
It doesn't.
It has enough roughage, you will be okay with it.
Do you listen to music? And if so, what kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to Ebenezer Obey, who is from this town. Fela Anikulapo Kuti, my very favorite musician. I listen to James Brown. It allowed me to, you know, to really shake when dancing. I listen to Otis Redding, the soul music, and his music could really get inside you, into you. And
you have so many favorite musicians.
So many.
Well, if I ask you to sing for me right now.
Roy Chicago, for instance.
Yes. Which song would you sing for us?
If I have to sing for you.
Yes.
I can sing Roy Chicago for you.
Okay.
Maria, ọmọ pupa tó dẹwà, Maria, mo fẹ́ràn rẹ o. Bí wọ́n bá lè fẹ́ mi, ilé àtọ̀nà mi, àti gbogbo ayé mi, lèmi ò fún ọ, àní jọ̀wọ́ o, ọmọ pupa tó lẹ́wà, Maria, mo fẹ́ràn rẹ o.
I think the Alake Gbadebo should start considering singing. She just go into the studio and wax an album. Many promoters will jump on it. Well done.
Thank you very much.
All right, I still have some more questions for you.
I thought that would be the end.
No, not the end. I have some more questions for you. We just have to go on a short break at this point.
Okay.
You're watching the Sunday interview. Guest today on the show is the Alake of Egbaland, His Royal Majesty Oba Dr. Michael Aremu Adedotun Gbadebo III, the Okukenu IV. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. My guest is still the paramount ruler of Egbaland, Royal Majesty Oba Dr. Michael Aremu Adedotun Gbadebo III, the Okukenu IV, the Commander of the Federal Republic. Thank you for staying with us on the show. Now, you've been the Alake of Egbaland for about 13 years now. How have you been able to impact the lives of the Egba people?
Well, education happens to be the main industry of my people, because they realized from more than 1.5 centuries ago that is the only way that can change the lives of people. It's the only way that can put an end to poverty and squalor and ignorance in any home. So I have keyed into this, and I promote at every level the need to have our children educated. For 3 years, we pursued education for the girl child, because we found that too many of them did not go beyond secondary school. So we insisted that they must get to the polytechnic, to the university, to some professional training and acquire skills that will stand them in good stead for the rest of their lives. And this we have pursued relentlessly. We brought in scholarships for those who could not afford the fees. We have promoted skill acquisition for those who could not go beyond school certificate, you know, and we are pursuing this. You know, we have not achieved what we thought we should achieve. We thank God that the response has been very good from our people.
Now, Egbaland boasts of so many prominent sons and daughters who are doing exceptionally well, both within Nigeria and even outside the country, and some even rose to the point of ruling Nigeria. So tell me, what is so unique about the Egba people?
It is God. There's no other way I can tell you what separates or makes an Egba man different from the others. It's God's own doing. When the missionaries were coming, they passed through some places, they didn't stop. They came here, set up here, and the art of reading and writing started from here. The same thing with the establishment of the first hospital in Nigeria was established here in 1895. The first newspaper in 1859. The first secondary school in Nigeria was established in Adedotun in 1859 and moved to Lagos, that's CMS Grammar School. We can go on and on. The first electricity in this country was in Adedotun here. The first pipe-borne water was also here. We are not on the coast. So it is only God that has marked us out as his own people. People that will get to the very top of anything they choose to do.
So what do you have to say about this somewhat rivalry among some paramount rulers in the country? They seem to, the supremacy rivalry, let me put it that way. What do you have to say about that?
It's ego-tripping. If you cannot suppress your ego, you cannot think straight. You will see nothing in the others. Like the Yoruba say, the horse of your enemy is always a short one. You will always, it's only your own that will be on top all the time. This is not right. We are not the same. Whatever quality you have, you know, others may not have it, but whatever else they have to, you may not have it. We have to complement one another.
Now, the traditional rulers of old were called the second in command to the gods. Are you impressed or happy with the way traditional rulers are today, that they are still they're now under the governments of any state, of any country, especially in Nigeria, the way it's been arranged?
Yes, it was like that all over the world. The divine right of kings, the kings ruled over everywhere. Russia, Bolshevik Revolution brought it to an end. In Britain, they had to execute one of the kings. You know, all over the place. In France, 1789, you know, French Revolution. That happens everywhere. It's not peculiar to us. You would have to lose power to the people. It is for the people to do it well, to rule well, to think of the masses rather than the individuals that have been elected.
Now, at a point during the administration of former Governor Gbenga Daniel, you were quite vocal. In fact, some would say very angry with the way he was ruling that time. Can you tell us more about why you were so vocal that time?
I wasn't vocal. I talked to the governor then about mending some roads, just merely putting quota and sand in some places. He said he would do it when the rains were over. The rains were over. Dry season came. Dry season went again. Rains came a second time. Then at a meeting, I just mentioned that the chief of staff should please remind the governor to mend the road that he promised to mend. That was all. I wasn't so vocal. And then the next thing, he thought I was criticizing. Some people cannot take criticism at all. And he who cannot be counseled cannot be saved. Yes, and I wasn't surprised that the whole thing ended the way it ended.
So what do you have to say about the current administration of Senator Ibikule Amosun, Governor Ibikule Amosun?
I was begging to have road patched. Now what we have are 3 lanes all over the place, flyovers everywhere. So what do I have to say except to thank God that in my own lifetime this has happened.
Okay. What is the relationship between you and your chiefs like?
Very, very cordial. My chiefs are the clothes that cover me. If I don't have my chiefs, I will be totally naked.
And then your relationship with other traditional rulers, paramount rulers of
other paramount rulers,
Yoruba land?
Very cordial. If you go, I can knock at the doors of many of them now, today, because we are brother of us.
So as the 10th Alake of Egba land, what do you want to be remembered for?
Well, the oracle had said that when the 10th Alake gets on the throne, Egba land will change for better. And this is what is happening. I want to be remembered as the person who, before the change started, tried to launch poverty alleviation, to promote skill acquisition, to promote education generally, to insist that the best had not happened yet. Somebody who was difficult to please because I wanted the very best for my people who had a glorious past. I wanted their present to be greater than their past and the future to be the greatest of all. So that is what I want to be remembered for.
Okay. So as the general elections 2019 are drawing nearer, what is your message, first off, to Egba people and then to Nigerians at large?
My message to Egba people is don't sell your votes because you'll be selling your birthright. Vote for only those people that you think will represent you well, that will fight for you, that will see it as a privilege to serve, not as a privilege to go and enrich themselves. To the politicians themselves, please be tolerant of one another, be tolerant of the people you rule over, and please serve the people. Be worthy of your service. When you are elected to serve, not to be served.
And finally, we want you to offer some prayers for Nigeria and the entire Yoruba people.
Well, my prayer for Nigeria, ní agbára Ọlọ́run, ní Nigeria ò ní bàjẹ́ o, kò ní dàrú o, a ò ní sálọ lu onílùú o, àwọn ọmọ wa tó wà ń bẹ̀, wọ́n ṣe wà lọ́hùn, wọ́n á máa ṣe dáadáa, wọ́n á máa gbógun Nigeria ga, àwa tá wà nílé, a ò ní kẹ̀rẹ̀, tó bá wálé wọ́n á rí pé àwa gangan a ní lọ síwájú. Wọn ní wá nù kọ́ wá fún wa ní tọrọ kọ́bọ̀ tá a máa fi jẹun, a ní tọrọ jẹun, a ní tọrọ mu o, Ọlọ́run àdó tiwa o. Ẹni tó máa tún Nàìjíríà ṣe, Ọlọ́run máa rán sí wa gbogbo gbà. Ẹni tó máa dàlú ìrú kò ní mọ̀nà lú yìí o. Ọlọ́run á fún wa ṣe o. Thank you.
Thank you very much for featuring on our show today, Your Royal Majesty.
Thank you very much.
And that is our show for today. And my guest on today's edition was the Alake of Egbalad, His Royal Majesty, Oba Dr. Michael Aremu Adedotun Gbadebo III, the Ekukenu IV, the Commander of the Federal Republic. For your inquiries and other questions you have, send all of them to the Sunday interview at tvcnews.tv. And until I come your way next week, I remain Azizat Olaoluwa. Bye for now.